Hi team, I hope you're all well. First of all, my apologies if you can hear the fan. I'm really hoping that it's not too loud. In fact, I'm going to turn it down 1 second. No joke, it feels like 1,000,000 degrees in here. I feel like I'm in Satan's armpit, and this is going to be a long video, I think. At least the filming portion of it's going to be long. We are doing a giant fucking unhaul today. I have gone through and purged the crap out of my shelves. My reading tastes have changed a lot. I obviously did a giant unhaul when I moved the shelves from the back room into this room last year, and I did a giant unhaul then, and I'm back to do another one. I wanted to do another purge. I've been switching my shelves around. You'll notice that I'm sat in front of the shelves that used to be my fantasy shelves. These are now my romance and romantasy shelves with some manga are down here. So I've been doing a giant purge, and I think I've just got to a point where the last few months all I've wanted to do is completely rip my shelves apart, take every single book off, set fire to the whole lot. I would obviously never ever do that, but set fire to the whole lot and start again. Now, you know, financially wise, that doesn't make any sense because I would end up buying a bunch of the same books again, and I would never do that anyway. That's just silly. But you know, when you ever just get that mood, sometimes I get it with the house in general. I'm like, I want to set fire to the whole fucking thing and just start again, and that's the mood I was in. It's the very extreme portion of that mood, but that was the mood I was in. So I made the decision to just drag off anything that does not bring me joy anymore. The minute I read the synopsis, I don't go, oh my god, I want to read that right this second. If I don't feel that with the book, it's coming off the shelves and it's going. No matter what it is, it's going. Because I have a lot on these shelves that I've owned for a very, very, very long time, and if I haven't read them by now, it's a good chance I'm not gonna. There's either a reason why I haven't done it, or I'm just never going to get to it. So I've been very brutal. There are some that have still left, that have still stayed on these shelves that probably should have gone by now. Hollow Kingdom, for example, by Kira Jane Buxton. I still really want to give that a go, and it is on my 24 books in 2024. So if I've not read it by the end of the year, it will go. But it's on that list, and I still would like to try and give that a go at least. But yeah, I've just done a massive purge, and I have the biggest stack of books down here. I have no idea how many's in it, and editing me is gonna hate filming me for suggesting this, but I might do counter so we can see just how many books there is, because I know it's a lot. I am gonna guesstimate that there might be 200 books here. Maybe I've overshot that, I don't know, but maybe 200 books here. There is a mix of everything here. A lot of fantasy, especially epic fantasy, because I'm not reading that anymore at the moment, especially 4 at the moment anyway. There is a lot of romance, there are a lot of duplicates, there's a lot of manga that I've read and I'm not going to reread, or you know, I've completed the series and I don't want to keep it or whatever. There is a lot of thrillers and horrors. Again, I've got to be a little bit more brutal with getting rid of those that I've read and I'm not going to reread. So I've got to be a bit more brutal with that a little bit as well, I think. So without further ado, let's go through them. I'm not going to go into big ass long descriptions as to why I'm getting rid of these things. I've either read it and I don't need to keep it, or I've just no interest in it anymore, or I've read the first one and I've no interest in continuing on the series. There are reasons. I will give a brief reason, but I'm not going into long ass descriptions as to why. Because we will be here forever. So I literally have no clue where to start. There's no rhyme or reason to these piles. You may find books are out of order. You may find that I pick up a book by an author and then 50 books down the line there's another book there by the same author. There is no rhyme or reason to this pile whatsoever, and I wasn't about to make a rhyme or reason. I've just been piling books up for weeks. So it's time to get rid of them because I'm sick to death of seeing them. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to start off with this little pile here. Alright, so I've got Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren. I read this a long time ago. I then got rid of that copy and then was gutted that I got rid of it, so I bought another one. And then I've just never looked at it since. So I don't know why I did that. I don't know why. I would love to be the type of person that could have a library full of all of the books that I gave 4 and 5 stars to. I haven't got the room, so I can't do it. So I've just got to be brutal with these types of things and stop doing it. I am a little bit of a hoarder at heart. Just a smidge. This has got to go. I've read it. I really enjoyed it. Would recommend though. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I read this years ago. It was fucking fantastic and I loved it. Same as Daisy Jones and the Six. I've not reread it and I don't think I'm going to, so it's time to let it go. It is time to let it go. Steel Heart by Brandon Sanderson. This is one where you will see the rest of the series somewhere. I don't know where, but you'll see it somewhere. Is this the first one in this series? Yeah. I've read Steelheart and Mitosis, but I haven't read Firefight and Calamity, which is books 2 and 3 in the series. Mitosis is a novella in this series, and I enjoyed it when I read it, but it's been years since I've read it, and I've not continued, and I don't think I'm going to. So, you know, it's time to let it go. I am sad about this situation. Thank you to Kristen for sending me this one, but I am sad about this situation. It's time to let it go. Ragnarok Volume 1. I didn't love it. I read it in that 24 manga in 24 hours and I didn't love it, and I don't think I'm going to continue the series, so letting it go. The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. I bought this in I think I did a scavenger hunt in Waterstones, and I think one of the prompts was flowers on the cover, and I thought I bought it for that. I just don't know if I'm ever going to read it, to be perfectly honest. I don't know if it's up my street, and I just don't know if I'm ever going to read it, so I'm going to let it go. Alright, Cinders and Sparks, Goblins and Gold. I don't know if this is book 3. Yeah, it's book 3 in the series. I've read this series, but I'm never going to reread it, and I don't think Thomas will be too fussed about it either, otherwise I would keep it for him. This is book 3 in the series by Lindsay Kelk, and I love this series, but I'm just never going to reread it, so it needs to go. I've got Bright Storm by Vashti Hardy, which is book 1 in this series, and I have read this book. I think I've read it twice, but I've just never continued on with the series, and I have it, wherever the frig it is, I've got the rest of the series. I just haven't continued on with it, so I'm letting it go. Nevermore, The Trials of Morrigan Crow. I loved this book. I've read up to book, is it book 3 or 4 that's out at the moment. I pre-ordered the latest one. I pre-ordered it about 2 years ago, and it's still not out yet, and the date just keeps being pushed back, and I've just, honest to God, don't care anymore. So I'm unhauling the whole series. You'll see the rest of it later on. We have the Small Spaces series. I loved this series. This was fantastic. I loved it. It's a fantastic horror series, middle grade horror series. Somewhere is Empty Smiles. It's right there. Let's get it while I'm on the subject. This fucking annoys the life out of me, but I refuse to wait for this to come out in paperback and buy it just so that I can have the matching set of a series that I've already read, and I will not reread because the last one let me down a little bit with the conclusion to the series. I'm just a little bit sad about that, I'm not gonna lie, but overall fantastic series. Would recommend for middle grade. 10 out of 10. Was very, very well, 7 out of 10. It was good. Wild as the Witch. I've read it, didn't love it. It was good though, but I've read it. I don't need to keep this one. I've kept Nature of the Witches, but I'm not keeping that one. Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins, I've DNF'd. First Down by Grace Riley, I DNF'd. Oh, How to Become the Dark Lord and Die Trying by Django Wexler. I don't know if it's because I'm in a mood with high epic fantasy. This is supposed to be like a cozy batshit fantasy, I think. I don't really know what's going on with it, and I've gotten about 100 pages into this and I'm just not having a good time, so I'm getting rid of it, and I'm really sad about it because it's a new release. I think I'm going to put it to one side and see if Jade wants it, but I'm getting rid of it. Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows, these editions. I was sent Divine Rivals by HarperCollins, but I have the Verilute editions. I then bought this one to match, and then I need the space on my shelves. I don't know what I was thinking. In all honesty, I'm not sure what I was thinking. So I am going to get rid of these and put them on somebody else's shelves that will love them and cherish them, because it's a very good series and I would recommend. Mrs. Hinch's Hinch Yourself Happy. I started reading this. I was doing tabs and everything. It's very good, to be fair. But I've just not continued on with it, and I'm not going to, so we're going to get it off my shelves because it needs to go. Next I've got the Ruthless Boys series, books 1 to 5. I bought all of these when I ended up with my obsession with Zodiac Academy, and I found a reading order that meant that you dip in and out of the 3 different series set in the same place, but with 5 years difference between each of the series. So Zodiac Academy, then Ruthless Boys is 5 years before, and then Dartmoor Penitentiary is 5 years after Zodiac Academy. And you dip in and out of them all to get the full scope of the story. So I read the first one, Dark Fae, and on all honesty it took me fucking ages to get through, and I didn't really care for it, I'm not gonna lie. So I've got no intention of continuing on with this series, and therefore fucking hell, I'm so annoyed because they were not cheap. They were not cheap, but therefore I'm going to get rid of them because they take up a lot of room on my shelves as well. No one hates me in these situations more than me, trust me. Okay, so next I do have Finlay Donovan is killing it. Finlay Donovan knocks him dead, and Finlay Donovan jumps the gun in hardbacks. I haven't read Rolls the Dice yet, but this series just keeps getting worse. I gave the first one 5 stars. I gave the second one, I think I gave it 5 stars initially, but then it came down to 4. The third one got a 3. And I haven't read Rolls the Dice yet, but I refuse to pay £26 for the hardback. So I'm getting rid of them because it's fucking obscene how much these cost. And I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing it because I believe that this series is just going to keep going. So no thank you. Can't remember if these were featured in my last unhaul or not, but we're going to do them again here. I've got the indie paperbacks of Serpent and the Wings of Night and The Ashes and Starkest King by Carissa Broadbent. I have the indie hardbacks of these, so I don't need the paperbacks as well, despite the fact that they do lie flat, but the indie hardbacks do the same thing. So yeah, I'm getting rid of both of those. Very good series, I love it, it's great. We have the other 2 from that series, Calamity and Firefight, not Fireflight, book 2 and book 3 in that series. These covers are stunning. I am sad about getting rid of it, I'm not gonna lie, but I just don't know if I don't think I'm gonna get back into it, to be perfectly honest. I don't know, it's gonna go. King of Battle and Blood by Simone St. Clair, sorry, Scarlett St. Clair. Simone St. Clair, what? I've just combined Scarlett St. Clair and Simone St. James, what the fuck. King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett St. Clair. Do I think I might enjoy this? Potentially. It has been on my shelf since it came out, and I haven't read it yet. So shipping date 3rd of December 2021. I've had it since then. Yeah, it needs to go because I've had it for so long, and I don't know if I'm actually going to enjoy it or not, because I think it's like a Greek mythology retelling as well, which we all know is not a thing for me. Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson, read it, gave it 3 stars, didn't really enjoy it. We all know that I'm not on my Sanderson kick anymore. Arcanum Unbounded is also going to go. I got to the Taldan system because I was reading them in the order meant to read them, combined with, you know, everything else, but I'm now not continuing on with it, so I don't think I need these anymore. They can go. All right, Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. There's a reason why I'm getting rid of this. This is the paperback version. I have the Afterlight editions of Ali Hazelwood's books, and when they did Love Theoretically, I was really annoyed about what they did with it, because they ended up doing the book with a bunch of dust jackets for the rest of the books, so it was extra cost than just the book, but they didn't do a dust jacket to match the Loathe to Love You, which I know is a set of novellas, but why would I swap the dust jackets around on my books when they're not all gonna match? It's just annoying. It's annoying. So on principle I didn't get it, and then I wanted to punch myself in the face, and recently they've done another reprint but it was a combination of Love Theoretically with 1 or 2 of the others that I already have, and I didn't need them all. So again, on principle, I didn't get them, and I've just managed to find one for a reasonable price on Vinted, and I've ordered it, so it's on its way to me. So I don't need the paperback anymore. I'm going to be really happy that my set is now complete, which I'm really glad about. I'm just hoping that on principle, because the set wasn't complete, I haven't missed out on Not in Love. I don't know if they've done an edition of it or not, and whether or not I've bought it, so I need to check that out and just double check. But this one can go. I haven't read it yet, but that one can go. Starfell, Willow Moss and the Magic Thief. It's by Dominique Valente. It's the last one in the series. I don't know why I still got it, to be perfectly honest. Wind Daughter by Joanna Ruth Mayer. I read the first one, Echo North, which will be in this pile somewhere, and I really enjoyed it, but to be perfectly honest, I've no intention in continuing on with it. I loved Echo North, but I feel like it didn't need a sequel, so I don't know, I'm not going to carry on with it. We have the rest of the Brightstorm series, so we've got Dark Whispers and Fire Song, sorry, books 2 and 3 in this series. So the series that I said I wasn't continuing on with. We've also got Crownfall by Vashti Hardy as well. Again, had this for so long and I'm not going to read it, so oh, it's got a signature thing in it. 2021 that came out. The Republic of Birds by Jessica Miller. I bought this freaking ages ago again, and I've not read it, and I don't think I'm gonna. And then we've got Cinders and Sparks books 1 and 2. The only thing is, what I will say is that, yeah, Fairies in the Forest, it's signed by Lindsay and has my name in it. So I am tempted to keep this one because a friend gifted it me for my birthday a couple of years ago. She got to meet Lindsay and I couldn't go to the event because I was unwell. So she got me this signed by Lindsay and sent it to me for my birthday a few months later, bless her. So I think I'm actually going to keep that one. I'm not going to put that, don't count that, Steph, don't count it. We're going to keep it. Speaking of Morrigan Crow, we have 2 lots of Hollow Pox. Do not with me. 2 lots of Hollow Pox and a Wondersmith that I'm getting rid of because, again, I have no interest in this series anymore. The Last Word by Taylor Adams. Who's Thomas? It's The Last Word by Taylor Adams. I've read this. I'm not going to reread it, so it can go. It was good, but I'm not going to reread it, so... Next we do have A River of Royal Blood and Queen of Gilded Horns. I read this one when it came in the Fairy Loot box, which was friggin' forever ago, 2019. I read it when it came, loved it, thought it was fantastic, very underrated. I still think it's very underrated. And then I got the sequel when it came out and I've just never read it. And now too much time has gone by and I just don't care to go back to it. So we're gonna let those go. Iron Widow by Kieran J. Zhao. I've heard incredible things about this one, but it's been on my shelves again for a really long time. 2021, and I've shine a light, and I've not read it, and I just don't know if I ever will. So I think it's time to let it go, let somebody else enjoy its beauty, because it is very pretty. After the Forest by Kel Woods. This one came in recently this year, last year, 2023. I've no interest in this book whatsoever, so that can go. Solo Leveling Volume 8. I ended up with 2 copies of this. IZ Press sent me a copy and I was also sent a copy from a friend, so I ended up keeping one of them and I'm going to get rid of the other. But I love this. I gave it 5 stars. It's fantastic. Alatsaway by Darcy Little Badger has been on my shelves for the longest time. It's been on so many of my TBRs and I've never picked it up, and I think it's time to let it go. I've got Lore Olympus volumes 5 and 6. These are, I bought this one myself from Waterstones, and then Del Rey sent me this one, I think, if I remember correctly. And I love this series, but I collect the Illumicrate ones, which always come out way later than they are actually published. So I end up buying them so I can read them and then getting rid of them and getting the Illumicrate ones instead. Consumerism at its finest. Don't be like me, for goodness sake. Okay, next we have After and After We Collide by Anna Todd. Got these from a charity shop ages ago and I haven't read them. The movies, very toxic. Do I enjoy to watch them though? Yes. Do I think it will rot my brain? Probably. Do I still have a good time? Yes. Am I very aware that it's toxic? Yes. if I ever want to read them. I think you can get them on Kindle Unlimited, so they can go. Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. I haven't read this one, but again, I bought it brand new and I don't think I'm now ever going to get to it. There are a couple of cohos, it's only 2 years old, but there's a couple of cohos that I do still have on my shelves that I want to get to. This is not one of them anymore. Same with Regretting You by Coho as well. Then I have Four Boys by Penelope Douglas. I just don't know if I have any interest in reading this one, to be perfectly honest. I got it when it first came out because I was intrigued by this, because I'd read a couple of Penelope Douglas's, but I just don't know if I'm bothered anymore, to be perfectly honest. Watch Over Me by Mila Gray. I've had this book a really fucking long time, really long time. And I haven't read it yet, and I just don't know if I'm ever going to now. I don't even know what it's about, but I just don't know if I'm ever going to read it now, so time to let it go, I suppose. I don't know where the rest of these are, but Jasper Vale, Garnet Flats and Christmas in Quincy. It's time to let this series go. I am sad about it. I do still have I don't know where it is, to be perfectly honest, but I do still have Crimson. Do I still have it on here? I thought I did. Oh, it's right there. Crimson River and also Sable Peak. If I ever bring myself to pick them up again after the downfall of Jasper Vale, fucking me right up with that series. I don't know, we'll see. Whew. Okay, we have My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. Tried this book twice now and I just can't get into it, so it needs to go. I'm sick to death of seeing it. We've got Long Shot and Block Shot. I got these on Vinted a while ago and I haven't read them, and I can't get the other one, so I'm just going to let them go, and if I ever want to read them, I think they're on Kindle Unlimited. We'll see. I do have the entirety of the Off-Campus series and Briar series here in the indie books. I've read the Off-Campus series, I've read the first book in Briar and I haven't continued. Love the Off-Campus series, but I don't want these ones anymore, and if I do want to collect them again, I prefer the new covers, so I'm not going to go out and buy them right now, but I'm going to get rid of these for the time being. They take up so much space, and I've read them and I don't think I'm ever going to reread them, so it is what it is. Alright, we've got The Detective Is Already Dead Volume 1, which I read in 24 manga in 24 hours. I didn't enjoy it. I DNF'd B Strings, which was sent to me by Yen Press. I didn't have a good time with this one, unfortunately, so that one can go. A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime by Monica Murphy. I read one of these in this series. I think it was in this series anyway, and I had a good time with it, but honestly I'm not that arsed about going back to this series anyway, so I'm gonna get rid of this one. The Fastest Way to Fall by Denise Williams. I've had this for a really long time and I haven't picked it up yet. I've also got How to Fail at Flirting in here somewhere as well. It's there at the bottom. Both of these, I've got them both on my Kindle as well, so I'm just going to get rid of the physical copies, and when I come to read them I will read the Kindle editions. Same with Make a Scene by Mimi Grace. I have it on my Kindle as well. Roomies by Christina Lauren. Haven't read it yet, but I don't really care. Again, a couple of Christina Lauren books I'm getting rid of, and a couple I am keeping. So again, Something Wild That I haven't read yet, and I haven't read the Honey Don't list either. I've heard that this is the worst one that they've done, so I'm going to get rid of these ones. There's a few that I've kept that I am still interested in reading. Then we do have The Rhythmatist by Brandon Sanderson. Again, it's a middle grade one, and I've no interest in reading it anymore. Strange Sally Diamond by Liz Nugent. I've got a duplicate of. I bought a copy when I went to Turkey, and when I came back from Turkey I had a copy from this publisher, so I'm just going to get rid of this one that I ended up buying. Catcher in the Rye was sent to me accidentally by Books Please, so we're getting rid of that. Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey's been on my shelves since it came out, and I just don't think I care enough to want to read it anymore. I mean, it only came out last year, but I just don't care enough anymore, I don't think. The Wedding Crasher by Mia Souza. I really enjoyed The Worst Best Man, but I think in the moment, had I picked this up I'd have loved it, but I just don't know if I feel like it's an in the moment type of book. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Starry Eyed Love by Helena Hunting. again, this has been on my shelf since it came out. I was really excited about it. I've had a couple of wins from Helena Hunting, but I'm just not that fussed anymore about picking this one up. The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood I've read. I don't need a paperback copy anymore. As I've already mentioned, I've got the hardbacks from Afterlight, so I'll read them. And then Love from Scratch by Caitlin Hill I've had for a while as well, and I've not picked it up yet, and I don't think I've any interest in reading this one anymore either. The Haunting of Veltwood by Gwendolyn Kist. I've just read this one for Summerween. I did an hour about keeping this one, to be perfectly honest, but I don't think I'm ever going to reread it, so I have to be really picky with my thrillers and horrors, and it does make me sad because there are so many that I would just love to keep on my shelves for trophies. This is one of them, to be perfectly honest. I mean, maybe, could I find room for it? No, I can't. I can't find room for it. Stop it. So I need to let it go. It's a shame, though, because I really love this cover. No, I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it. Don't count it. I'm keeping it. Middle of the Night by Riley Sager, though, definitely going. This was 3.5 stars from me, which is not a bad rating, but I will only keep thrillers that are 4 or 5 star reads for me, and this was 3.5, so it needs to go. My Darling Girl by Jennifer McMahon, same thing, 3.5 stars. The Sanatorium by Sarah Peirce was 4 stars. Really enjoyed this one. This was very, very good, but I'm never going to reread it, and I haven't got the room to keep hold of it. Then we've got books 1, 2 and 3 in the Madison Kate series by Tate James. Hate, Liar and Fake. I haven't read Kate yet, but I am getting rid of these because I won't reread them, and they're taking up too much space on my shelf, so I am going to get rid of those. I have the Brown Sisters series in paperback format. I have the Afterlight edition, so I don't need the paperback ones as well. I am sad about this though, because these are very, very, very floppy editions, so I wish I could keep them. To be fair, I could keep them and hide them behind the pretty editions, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I don't need to do that. Let's get rid of them. Come on, Barra, you can do it. Snow in Love, which is a collection of short stories which I've read years ago and really, really enjoyed, and then was just keeping because I really like the cover. It can go. Lizzie Blake's Best Mistake by Maisie Eddins. I read this earlier on this year, last year, whenever it was. I got it in a blind date with a book, and I really, really enjoyed it. I started fucking annotating it and then didn't carry on. What a gobshite. Really enjoyed it actually, but I'm never going to reread it, so it can go. Echo North, as previously mentioned, by Joanna Reith May. I'm never going to reread it. A Shiver of Snow and Sky and a Storm of Ice and Stars by Lisa Ludek. I've read them, so I'm never going to reread them. They can go. The Raven in the Rain Day by T. Kingfisher I've read, I think. And if I haven't, I've DNF'd it. I've at least tried, I know that much. So I'm going to let go of it. And then we get into some epic fantasy. Oh no, I'm going to revert back to some romance in a minute, so ignore me. But we've got Master of Sorrows by Justin Cole. Jade gave me this one because she read it, loved it. She got some really pretty hardbacks. She then passed this one on to me, but I honest to God don't think I'm ever going to get to it now that I'm not in this epic fantasy mode anymore. I just genuinely, in all honesty, I had to go through the ones that I've got on my shelves and prioritize them. This was not a priority for me, unfortunately. Sorry, Ratbag, but thank you anyway. All right, we've got the King series here. I've got the first 3 books from Anna Huang. I've read the first one. I don't have any interest in continuing this series, honestly. I know it's very popular on TikTok, but I don't care. Misfit by Elle Kennedy. I have no interest anymore. Not a single ounce of interest anymore. Again, high epic fantasy series. I needed to prioritize the Ship series, Mad Ship series, is that what it's called? By Robin Hobb, which is the second trilogy in the Realm of the Elderlings. Is that correct? Did I just know that off by heart? The Live Ship Traders, this one is. I've kept the Farseer trilogy. I've read the first one in that, really enjoyed it, so I've kept that one. But this one I need to let go of. I'm really sad about it because I would love to continue on with all of the series, but in reality I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be a stretch for me to finish the Farseer trilogy, to be perfectly honest. So I think I need to let this go. Not only that, but I actually have a seasickness problem. I know it sounds fucking stupid, but it's so extreme that even I can get it reading a book, and I've DNF'd books before now because it's giving me seasickness. And I think I'm going to have that problem here, so I need to be realistic about this. Okay, I have a couple of graphic novels that have come from the graphic novel station that I didn't pick and I've got no interest in reading. So we've got Amina and Daughter of Her Father's Eye. I had no input into those. We've got Gearbreakers and Godslayers. I read Gearbreakers and enjoyed it when I read it, then got Godslayers when it came out, but again, I think the ship has sailed on this one. I don't think I'm going to go back to it, unfortunately. It is what it is. This is the problem with me and YA fantasy series sometimes, is that sometimes the ship will just sail for me. If I'm not quick enough, the ship will sail. We have The Witch King by Martha Wells. It came in an Illumicrate box. I haven't read it. How long have I had this? 2022. I haven't read it. The Studying Drowning by Ava Reid. I don't think of any interest in this book. It is very beautiful though. We have the Skyward series by Brandon Sanderson. I have read Skyward three times. Tried to get through Starsight twice and I can't get any further than maybe 200 pages in. I don't know. Yet I continued to buy them. So now I need to stop this madness and just put an end to it, and I think that this is the way to do that. So that's it. I'm cutting myself off. It is what it is. Again, with the ship sailing on this one, I really enjoyed The Extraordinaries when I read it. I read it as a arc, I think, before it came out, 2020. And I continued to buy them, but I did not continue on with the series. And again, I think the ship has sailed, unfortunately, with that one. So it is what it is. I'm so fucking hot. I cannot tell you how warm it is in this room right now. What? Jesus Christ. Right. We've got the Summer Girl and Bad Girl Reputation by Elle Kennedy. I really enjoyed the first one in the series, Good Girl Complex. And I've just never continued. And I don't know what dates on these, when they came out. This one was 2023. And this one must have been 2022, yeah. But I've just never read them, and I keep looking at them, and I don't think I'm going to pick them up. I've got Broken Bonds by J. Bree. I have read this one. Thank you to Samantha for sending me this one. I truly appreciate it. Am I going to continue on with the series? It was fine. I didn't love it though, unfortunately. But I'm certainly not going to continue buying the series. It is very pretty. But thank you to Samantha for sending me this one. I truly appreciate it. Always Only You and Only When It's Us by Chloe Leese. The first and second book in this series, the Bergman Brothers series. I now have the very pretty Illumicrate editions, so I don't need these ones anymore. I have read the first one, by the way. The Bride Test and The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. I've read, enjoyed, don't need to keep them. Again, Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. Read, enjoyed, not going to keep it though. The Ritual by Chantal Tessier. I tried to read, I didn't enjoy. I'm going to get rid of it. I don't know what I was thinking. A horror movie by Paul Tremblay. I DNF'd. I'm fucking annoyed about it. Whatever. Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson, and then the follow-up with Love from Cold World. I tried the first one and I did not enjoy it in the slightest, and I've tried it twice, so I got further the second time but I still wasn't enjoying myself, so I'm just going to get rid of them both. Cross the Line by Simone Saltini. The really pretty The Works edition. I'm sad about this, trust me, I'm sadder than you are about it. I DNF'd this one. I'm gutted. We have Indigo Ridge and Juniper Hill. I'm sad about this situation because I fucking loved these two. These were fantastic. The rest of the series went a bit downhill and I'm sad about it. Sad. It is what it is. Words of Radiance, part 1 and 2. Gotta go. The Heart Principle, I've read, enjoyed, not keeping it, there's no point. Fruits Basket, volumes 1, 2 and 3. I read volume 1. I got into volume 2, but I didn't get it. I wasn't enjoying myself anymore, so I've decided to unhaul it and not continue on with the series. Certain Dark Things by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I, again, need to be a little bit more... Oh, this is one of those, though. How did I not know that? I read this one with Jade. We buddy read this one. And by buddy read, I mean we put the audiobook on and decorated our Christmas tree. We had a really good time with it, really enjoyed it, but it wasn't a favourite of mine from Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I think we both give it around 3.5, 4 stars, but the cover is stunning, to be fair. I just haven't got the room. I need to be brutal with this. Guys, these piles just keep coming. I've got 4 more piles to go through. Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. I read it for Katie Colson taste test, enjoyed it, but I'm not going to continue buying them. I will probably listen to them if I can get them available on audio from the library, but there's no need for me to continue buying them. Such a Quiet Place by Megan Miranda, I gave 3 stars, no need to keep hold. I do have the Savage Land series. I haven't read Shadowlands yet, but I'm going to unhaul these, and then when Shadowlands is finished I will unhaul that. Same with Kate from the Madison Kate series, so unhauling them. Funny Feelings by Tara Jewett, I gave maybe 3 stars. It was good, I liked it. This cover is stunning, but it didn't do anything special. Pole Position by Rebecca J. Caffrey, same thing, didn't do anything special. Chef's Kiss by TJ Alexander. I tried this one and ended up DNFing it during June. I wasn't a fan. The Luminous Dead by Caitlin Starlin. Very same thing as Chef's Kiss. I tried it, wasn't a fan, DNF'd it. My ass is going numb sitting on this stool. Too Hot to Handle by Tessa Bailey. No interest in reading this one. Same with Do I Know You by Austin Siegemund Broker and Emily Wibberley. Don't know what my thought process was there. Same with this one, Beach Rivals by Georgie Tilney. No idea. Oh, we're back on the coho that I'm getting rid of. We've got Confess, Without Merit, and Maybe Someday by coho that I'm getting rid of that I haven't read yet. There are still some that I have kept from her, but I've got Heart Bones and I've got Layla and Never Never that I haven't read from her yet that I'm keeping hold of. Done and Dusted by Lila Sage, I've read. I enjoyed it, it was good. I gave it 3 stars though, nothing special. It was fine. In a New York Minute by Kate Spencer. I bought this because it's set in New York, but honestly I just I don't know what I was thinking, to be perfectly honest. Cat Gamer Volume 5, here's what happened. I purchased Cat Gamer Volume 5 from Books Please. They accidentally sent me Catcher in the Rye. So I sent them an email the day it came to say, you sent me Catcher in the Rye, not Cat Gamer Volume 5, which I asked for. Is there any chance you could, you know, send me Cat Gamer Volume 5? Oh my god, so sorry. Yeah, absolutely. Cat Gamer Volume 5 came the day I was reading Cat Gamer Volume 4 during Vinyl Book Support Group, and then 2 days later this came. So I have 2 copies, so we're getting rid of one. But shout out to Books Please for sorting that out so quickly. I appreciate you. Beasts and Beauty Dangerous Tales as by Semaine Chainani. I read this one and loved it. It was fantastic. And I was keeping hold of it, but honestly, I don't know why. It was good though. What I would recommend. It was good, but there's no need for me to keep hold of it. We have the Legacy Trilogy by Matthew Ward. Haven't read it, haven't even started it, and all I know, Jade's loved this, but all I know is that they have audiobooks for the first 2, not the last one. It's an immediate no from me, I'm afraid. I'd already bought them before I found that out though. That was before I learned my lesson of buying the whole series before you needed to. Near the Bone by Christina Henry's been on my shelves for a really long time. I was going to give it a go, but so many people have told me not to read this because of my trigger of stalking. I'm finally listening to you all and getting rid of it. The Terminal List by Jack Carr. I picked this up because I watched the series. Realistically, am I going to read it? Probably not, no, so I need to let it go. The Drowned Girls by Lorith Ann White was one of the literature buddy read, one of the literature book club reads, but I didn't read it for literature, and I don't think I've got any intention of reading it now. So I'm gonna let that go. And then here we have the Bone Season series. Now, hear me out. I've read the Bone Season, I've read Mime Order, I've read the Songwriting. I realise these are in the wrong order. I haven't read The Mask Fallen yet because I was waiting for the rest of the series to come out because I thought, here's what's going to happen. She's going to take fucking forever to finish the series, which she has. And I'm going to end up having to reread every single book again every time a new book comes out. So I'm just going to wait now. I'm going to wait until the rest of the series comes out, and then I'll reread the first 3, and then I'll read the rest of them. As it turns out, she has taken forever over it, but also she's rewritten them. So I want the new editions. I have the new one of the Bone Season, so I want the new editions. There's no point in keeping these as well, so I'm going to get rid of these ones and get the new editions. It took me so long to get these as well, honestly. Samantha Shannon, can you just, can we wrap the series up, please? Because I really love it as well. I love it. Love it. Just want it to be wrapped up already, please. Right, we've got Saw Kill Girls by Claire Legrand. Has been on my TBR for fucking ever, and I don't think I'm gonna like it, in all honesty. She's a Haunting by Trang Than Tran. The bugs, I think it's gonna freak me out. I don't think I'm gonna be a body horror girly, honestly. I don't think it's gonna be for me. Tell Me I'm Worthless by Alison Rumfitt. I've not heard, I can't remember what I've heard about this, to be perfectly honest, but did I try this? What's my reason for getting rid of this? We'll keep this one. Right, then I'm getting rid of a bunch of my Lindsay Kelk books. Shocking, I know. I'm not getting rid of the I Heart series. That series I absolutely adore, but honestly these books have been hiding on my shelves behind other books for years now, and I don't think it's fair, or that somebody else should have these to read them. So we've got Always the Bridesmaid, In Case You Missed It, We Were on a Break, What a Girl Wants, A Girl's Best Friend, About a Girl, and also The Simple Girl's To-Do List. I'm keeping the I Heart series because that series is like, holds a very special place in my heart, but this lot I can give or take. I love them, but I can give or take. They're not, you know, iconic like the I Heart series, so they can go. I really hope my camera doesn't die now. We've got Cleat Cute by Meryl Wilsner, which is the Afterlight edition. I've not really any interest in that one. For Your Consideration by Amy Spalding, again, not really got any interest in that one. X's and O's by Amy Leah, part of a series. My battery died because of course it did. My camera's like on fire, it's so hot. Anyway, House of Leaves. Don't ask me what I was thinking. I don't fucking know. I got this one for the TikTok horror recommendations video that I did. And it was really late, and I started it. There is no fucking way I'm getting through this book. I don't know what I was thinking. I Kissed Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. Again, I had this for a really long time. I think I get it in that, again, the scavenger hunt thing, but I just no interest in reading it anymore, honestly. Romantic Comedy by Curtis Sittenfeld. I hate this cover. I hate it. I got it to read the romance category from last year, but honestly I don't have any interest in reading it. The Night Silver Promise by Annalise Avery came in an Al Crate Junior box. I have no interest in reading that. We Were Wolves and Running with Horses by Jason Cockcroft. I got these at Yalk clearly a few years ago now, and I just don't think I've got any interest in reading them, honestly. I'm not sure what I was thinking at the time. I just got very excited because they look pretty, but no interest. It Watches in the Dark by Jeff Strand. I've just done my wrap up and wondered where this was. I gave it 3 stars. It was good. No interest in keeping it though. It was good though. Creatures of the In-Between by Cindy Lynn, Al Crate Junior book. The Glass Witch by Lindsay Puckett, Al Crate Junior book. The Spirit Glass by Roshani Chokshi, Al Crate Junior. Riley Man in the Company of Monsters by Sianan Smart, Al Crate Junior. I've not really got much interest in these books, so I'm gonna unhaul them and give them to someone who will have interest in them. Hopefully the age range that they're aimed at as well. Throne of the Fallen by Kerry Maniscalco. Why is this book so big? I didn't finish the Kingdom of the Wicked series, and I don't know if you necessarily need to. I think it's set in the same world, but I don't think you necessarily need to have read the series to have finished it or anything. But to be fair, I've heard good things about this one, but I just don't know if I've got any interest in reading it, in all honesty. So I'm gonna get rid. Velvet Was the Night, and also The Beautiful Ones by Sylvia Morinau Garcia. There are some of her books that I'm really interested in reading. These two, not so much. I was collecting them because they look pretty on the shelves, but realistically I don't think I've got any interest in either of these two, so I am going to unhaul them. I have kept Gods of Jade and Shadow, and I've also kept, where are you, Sylvia Moreno Garcia? Gods of Jade and Shadow and Mexican Gothic. I've read both of those, really enjoyed them, so I kept both of those, and then I've got Silver Nitrate, which is the only other one that I've got that I haven't read yet, so I do want to read that one. I've got Looking Glass Sound by Katarina Ward. I haven't heard good things about this, honestly. I haven't heard good things about it, and I'm just going to get rid. I don't like this cover either. And then We Were Never Here by Andrea Bartz. I've had for a long time as well. I've had this since it came out, 2021, and I haven't read it yet. So, again, gotta let it go. Anya's Ghost, I've read, really enjoyed. Don't need to keep it though. Witches of Brooklyn, I've read. It was good. Don't need to keep it. Check Please, volumes 1 and 2. I've read. Liked them. Don't need to keep them. Right, this one, I've been on the fence about this for years. The Truly Devious series, I have read up to Box in the Woods, not including. So I have Box in the Woods and 9 Liars left to complete the series. And at this point, I think the ship has sailed. I just don't know if I can do it anymore. I've really enjoyed the series. Really enjoyed it, but I just don't know if I can do it anymore. So, and I just don't know if the series is going to be the same anymore if she's not at the school, because I think she's graduated at this point. She's just carrying on with her sleuthing a little bit. So I just don't think it's going to work for me anymore. I've got Loot by Jennifer Thorne. I have tried this one, didn't like it, so I'm going to get rid. And I've got The Restless Dark by Erica Waters. I don't know, I've had this again for a really long time and I've just not read it. I don't even know when this came out, 2022, it feels longer. I've just not read it, so get rid of that one. We're on the home stretch, guys. I can't tell you how much clearer this library looks already. I feel like I can breathe, you know? I feel so much better. These stacks have been here for weeks, I'm not joking, and I've been sick to death of seeing them. I'm going to end up keeping a few of the stacks because some of these books I'll sell on Vinted, so I keep hold of. The rest I'm going to try and get rid of. 5 Survive by Holly Jackson. I really liked this, but I'm never going to reread it, so I am going to get rid. I have got None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. Again, really enjoyed it, but I'm never going to reread it, so I'm going to get rid. And then I do have Skandar and the Unicorn Thief and Skandar and the Phantom Rider by A.F. Steadman. I've been collecting the Waterstones special editions with the sprayed edges, both signed and then really fancy underneath the dust jackets, but I haven't read them. The third one's come out, the yellow one, and I haven't got it, and I think I'm just going to get rid of them because I just don't know if I'm going to read them, so I'm just going to get rid of them, to be perfectly honest. And that's your lot. My butt is really numb. That is your lot. I am so warm. I really hope that that fan hasn't made a din the whole time I've been filming this, like too loud. I've really needed it on. It's so hot. It's not, it won't do for me to open the window either, because all you'll hear is traffic then. So I'm really hoping the fan hasn't been too loud, fingers crossed. But yeah, this will be my final figure. I hate myself already. I'm not even started editing this. I hate myself already. This will be the final figure. I really want to know how many books I've got rid of. But yeah, that is everything that I'm getting rid of. Do you think I've made any mistakes? I know it's a lot of books and I know that it seems extreme. As you can see, my shelves are still very much full. I had a lot of double stacking and I hated it. I did not like it at all, and I was just keeping books for nostalgia, honestly. So I have gotten rid of quite a lot of books that I have read. There are a few in here that I have not read and I haven't even tried, and it seems ridiculous that I'm getting rid of them having not yet tried them, but my reading tastes have changed a lot, so I don't know. I think I just need to respect that and kind of roll with it. It is what it is. Chat to me in the comments down below. Do you think I made any mistakes? At the point at which you're seeing this video, I probably will have already gotten rid of the books, so my apologies. But yeah, I probably will have already gotten rid of the books. I will leave a link to my Vinted in the description box down below if you wanted to check it out. I don't know what will still be on there, if at all anything. I don't know. Right now there are some stuff on it, but when I start loading more stuff again, it might gain traction. I don't know. We'll see. But I will leave a link to Vinted if you wanted to check it out in the description box down below. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Chat to me in the comments, and I will see you in whatever comes next. Bye for now.